This news update is brought to you by...
Say hello to Carol. Carol talks for a living, from morning till night. So she relies on Flow's crystal clear home phone service brought to her through Flow's 100% fiber to the home network. It keeps her in the know, and because she bundles her mobile broadband and TV services, she enjoys huge savings, so she can enjoy much more for much less. So visit any Flow retail outlet, call 1-800-804-2994, or visit discoverflow.co to find out more. One-of-a-kind connection. This is how we flow.
This is the Barbados Today evening news update for Thursday, June 23rd. Thank you for joining us. I am Marie-Claire Williams. Adigun Rabbi Hinds of Deacons Farm, St. Michael, has been remanded until July 21st after appearing in court today in connection with Sunday's shooting at Deacons Farm. 25-year-old Hinds of Block 5A, Madison Terrace, was arrested and charged with possession of a firearm without a valid license, as well as possession of 7 rounds of ammunition without a valid license. He was not required to plead to the indictable charge when he appeared before Magistrate Christy Cuffy Sargent in the District A Magistrates Court this morning. As Britain awaits the results of today's referendum on the European Union, one political scientist is warning that a vote to leave could have implications for Barbados and the rest of the Caribbean. The vote stems from debate over Britain's identity in the 28-nation EU. Lecturer in political science and international relations at the University of the West Indies, Christina Hinds Harrison, is pointing specifically to the future of the Economic Partnership Agreement signed between CARIFORUM and the EU.
Because we in Barbados, along with the other CARIFORUM members, which is the CARICOM member states, and Dominican Republic, we have signed the economic partnership agreements with the European Union. And Britain really is would be the major trading partner that we have within the European Union. It really raises some questions about the relationship between CARICOM and CARIFORUM members and Britain in terms of trade relations, access to markets. And when I'm talking about trade, I don't just mean trade in goods, but also trade in services, the ability for our people to provide services. These things will have to be renegotiated because the negotiation we had was with the European Union, which would have included the United Kingdom. So we would continue to have this economic partnership agreement with the European Union, but this agreement would be in some ways a lot less meaningful because the major trade partner for the English-speaking Caribbean countries would no longer be a member of the EU. So this kind of relationship would have to be renegotiated or negotiated outside of the context of the EU.
And ballot counting is now underway at centres across the UK. The results are expected to be known by early tomorrow morning. Chairman of the Supervisory Committee of the Pig Farmers Cooperative, Algernon Johnson, is today reporting improvements in the industry. He says following a period of less than flattering sales, pig farmers have recorded favorable performance last year. He added that they are also beginning to see an improvement in the quality and price of the locally manufactured feed. Johnson gave this assessment this morning at a press conference to announce the upcoming celebrations of the Barbados Cooperative Business Association's International Cooperators Day.
Some of our main challenges in pig farming is the feed, price of the feed, right? The quality of the feed. You understand? We try to get it addressed because we had some meetings with Roberts, you understand? We met Roberts and showed him the issues that we had with the feed, and we started to see a slight improvement. That's the reason probably where it is that we had a lot of imported feed coming in because people were looking for cheaper feed. They necessarily have a better quality, but you're always looking for something that you could afford, right? As an organization, we met the organization Roberts, and we've seen a slight improvement, so we just working on things. The other thing is, at least they had challenges with the economic situation. People started to cut down the amount they were raising, so they started to put up pressure on the supply you have. You understand? So we try to meet with farmers on a more regular basis, try to encourage them to keep working. You know what I mean? If it's but still keep being part and cooperating market your things, so you don't have to look at the market. These usually market for them.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
I give in your sweetness. Hey, it's your girl Azizi, the Barbados TODAY Crop Over Superstar 2015. The competition is even more exciting this year. There'll be 3 champions. The public will choose their junior, Soca Royale, and Pickety Crop champion. So here's how it works. Go to our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/Barbados Today to fill out your competition form. 2. Upload your video with your song to Barbados Today's Facebook page. 3. Make sure you invite all your friends and family to vote for you. The contestant with the most votes by the end of their competition will be crowned champion. I gave me a sweetness. I know you like sweetness. All of this is sweetness.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
In news from the region, we go over to Trinidad, where the commissioner probing the collapse of CLICO has presented its report to President Anthony Carmona. The document comes 5 years after Sir Anthony Coleman was appointed to the task. One of the main points in the report is a call for immediate moves to strengthen the central bank's regulatory powers. We get more in this report from TV6 News in Port of Spain.
Health concerns prevented the Loan Commissioner from submitting his final report on CLICO in person. The Commission Secretary Judith Gonzalez did so on his behalf, 22 months after he handed in a separate report on the HCU. In a statement read by Ms. Gonzalez, Coleman recounted the 2 million documents his staff received for this mammoth effort. He stayed clear of comments on the findings of his probe, but Coleman was clear in his call for swift legislative reform to expand the regulatory powers of the central bank.
The problem lies with the inadequate regulatory scope of the Insurance Act. Had at least some of the regulatory powers been enacted by 2008, the collapse of the CLF group might have been avoided.
An insurance bill tabled by the People's Partnership lapsed in the last Parliament. The PNM government's legislative agenda on the Parliament website indicates their bill will come to Parliament by 2017. Coleman's second appeal echoed a refrain of previous chairmen of commissions of inquiry: stronger powers to compel witnesses to give evidence. He lamented the maximum punishment for failure to appear is a $2,000 fine, a deterrent he said has practically no effect.
On the international scene, a masked man who reportedly fired shots in a cinema complex in western Germany has been shot dead by police. One eyewitness has been describing to the BBC how the incident unfolded.
I was at the 3rd floor from the hotel to have a better view, and in fact there were a lot of helicopters, and after a while there came the special police, I don't know the English word, I'm sorry, and they go inside, and I think that's when they shot him down.
What made you first aware that something was wrong?
The guest came in because she was in the mall. The shopping mall is next to the cinema, and she said the mall is totally closed, and she was one of the last who came out, and she said something bad happened. There is a gunman, and she was totally shocked because she's an older lady. Yes, and this was the first I recognized there is something wrong.
And finally, the Colombian government and the FARC rebels today took one step closer to ending more than half a century of conflict with the signing of an historic ceasefire deal. The agreement is expected to pave the way for a full peace deal. Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos and FARC leader Chimosenko sealed the deal with a handshake at a ceremony in Havana. An estimated 220,000 people have been killed and almost 7 million displaced in the longest-running insurgency in the Western Hemisphere. The agreement does not mark the start of a ceasefire, however. That will only begin when a final accord is signed in the coming weeks. And that's the news this evening. Remember, you can get more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also tune into Channel 99 on Flow TV or Mix 96.9 FM for more news. I am Marie Claire Williams. Have a good evening.